Yeah, the shining golden signs. Let your inner sparking night. Fat and treasure, growing bright.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Spike back again once again. And today, people, today we're here for #1 Sentai Gozyuger episode 41. And in this episode, we get the debut of a very important No.1. We get Bouquet going through her existential crisis and going out and getting revenge on Byakuya. Also, we see Ryugi finally gets to use the Ryu Tega sword, and bro is ecstatic about freaking using it. Also, we got to see how Ryugi and Byakuya met each other. It was very short, but we got to see them actually meet each other, and they were fighting against a ring warrior who was Zeo Red. But man, how many people have had Zeo Red? It just seems like a lot of people have had that. We've seen Zeo Red a lot being passed around like a freaking, I'm not gonna say it, but being passed around a lot. I'm like, who all this had freaking Zeo Red? But we see how they met each other, and we see how Ryugi was very mean. You know, he wasn't too friendly and stuff like that. And we also see how Byakuya kind of like forced himself into his life. But yeah, they later on became friends and stuff like that. And that's how he ended up meeting, you know, Horu and stuff like that. But this episode basically shows off a brand new No.1, and this No.1 apparently Takejun says that this No.1 will be the last No.1 that we'll ever need. And this No.1 is the host to a very important woman. Now, it turns out this woman is the creator of Takejun, and she is also like going through a lot of despair, which means that she lost her daughter, and she ended up creating Takejun. We don't see what she overall looks like, but we see like the silhouette of her, and she's all digitized and like data and stuff like that. So we don't see what she looks like, but most likely we are going to see what she looks like very soon. But I have a gripe with this episode, but I'm going to speak about it a little bit later. But we see that, you know, Ryugi talks to Tega Sword, and Tega Sword says that he feels better and stuff like that. He is completely rejuvenated, even though with the last episode he got kind of stabbed up by Fire Candle the last episode. And Bouquet, she tells Byakuya that, hey, that girl was my sister, and then Byakuya, he feels really bad about the fact that he destroyed Bouquet's sister, especially with the episode that they had just had. Well, especially throughout that episode, he was really nice to her and stuff like that. He wanted her to be happy, but you know, he doesn't want his fans. No, she's a fan of him and she loves him, so he feels bad about making her feel any type of despair and things like that. Because also he doesn't want his fans to hate him. But you know, Ryugi's basically telling him like, she's Baridon. Like, why do you feel bad? He said, whether she's bad or whether she's, you know, part of Baridon or not, she's still a fan of mine, and I want all my fans to be happy. But yeah, so Byakuya is going through a little rut in this episode. We also see that the new No.1 monster has shown up, and apparently it's a creation No.1, and it is able to just create anything. Basically, we see it's very like stoic. It's very quiet. It doesn't move. It doesn't say anything, and it's able to just create things. Like, it ends up creating like a toy car for the landlady's son. And we see that they have like a #1 battle with it. And we see that Tono, he wins his first half, and then Mashido fails his first half, and then we get to the Bouquet running up on everybody. Well, Bouquet and the rest of Baridon running up on the Gozyuger and overall attacking them, and they're fighting them. And we see a little girl, she's crying out for her mom, and then that cry for her mom triggered the No.1 and started making her go all kinds of berserk. She starts manifesting a bunch of guns and stuff, starts blasting everywhere. She ends up using her power to just basically go haywire. It starts doing creation everywhere, and when the creation starts going off, she's duplicating people. She's duplicating cars and buildings and stuff, and everything's just getting destroyed. And that's when Takejun herself ends up coming to the city, and we see that we did have a mech fight, which was Goodburn and Mashido, who ended up defeating a Gold Bill, and they're still in their mech form and everything. They're chilling right after the fight's over. But we also got to see Ryugi use the Ryu Tega sword. Ends up fighting the No.1 monster. He got his one-on-one talk technically with Byakuya, getting Byakuya back into his good spirits. And then Byakuya goes off and go fights Bouquet, and then he tries to talk some sense into Bouquet, but she's not having it. And then that's when Big Mama June, after Ryugi ends up destroying the No.1 monster, we see that its hand was still left over. So it ends up doing by having its hand left over, it ends up using its power to regenerate its entire body, and ends up using its power to do all the crazy messed up stuff all around the city, and everything feels kind of hopeless because so much destruction is going on all at once, and it's so fast and all at once. And then Tega June, she ends up appearing there and taking the Creation No.1. The Creation No.1 basically wins the #1 battle, and taking the Creation No.1 and forcing it into her cockpit, and like roots itself. Like she makes like these vines and roots inside of her cockpit, and she basically says that Creation No.1 is my #1 destined pilot. Like, this is my #1 destined pilot. No one else can pilot me but the Creation No.1, since the Creation No.1 is her creator, technically is her mother. And then by her doing that, she ends up grabbing Goodburn and kidnapping Goodburn again. And I forgot Goodburn's real name. It was like Tega Kegeru. And she ends up taking Goodburn and taking Goodburn back to the No.1 world. But yeah, and man, the look on Mashido's face when seeing that, really, like, he felt that it even took his like coat, even knocked his coat off. He was back to his his black Nike Tech. But man, that really hit hard. That really hit to see Mashido and get Goodburn taken away from him, and also how hopeless everyone felt when the entire city was just being destroyed rapidly and there was nothing they could do about it. But yeah, my only gripe with this episode is that why did Big Daddy Tegasword not show up? He had no excuse for not showing up in this episode, because he technically was already there, because when they used the Ryu Tegasword, that's him fusing with them, and Ryuki had already taken the Ryu Tegasword off, so I don't think he needs to rest after using the Ryu Tegasword form. So why didn't Tegasword show up to do anything to stop Tegajun from taking Goodburn? Like, that's like my big gripe with that. Like, bro even said in the beginning of the episode, hey, I feel fine, I am completely rejuvenated. So he had no excuse for not coming. He was technically already there with the whole Ryugi using Ryu Tegasword thing. So why didn't Tegasword show up? That's my only thing. He could have tried and stopped something. We could have got another fight between Tegasword and Tegajun. Like, I was like, Tegasword, I was waiting for him to come and grab Goodburn, because she pulled Goodburn with her. She pulled Goodburn towards her and threw him in a portal, So it was like, I was waiting for Tegasword, your freaking dad, to come in and stop that, or at least try and stop it. That's my only gripe. But other than that, this episode was pretty good. Had some stuff thrown in there and everything. We see a Byakuya and Bouquet's fight is like kind of cut short because Big Mama June came in, they started and took over. But I'm really interested in this Creation No.1, because this seems like it's gonna be the most powerful No.1 that we've ever seen. Because Tegajun says it herself that this is the last No.1 will ever need. So I'm really looking forward to getting more history and backstory on this No.1 specifically, and knowing how she created Tegajun and everything. I'm really looking forward to that. So, but yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, it kind of was shoehorned in there. And then the backstory with Byakuya and Ryugi it's relevant. It was thrown in there, but it was still relevant to what was going on in order for Ryugi to get Byakuya, you know, back on his feet and stuff like that. But I still hate that Tekken sword didn't show up. That's the only thing. That's my only gripe. But other than that, I like this episode. I can't wait to see what happens next episode. We're going to the No.1 world to try to save our good burn. But other than that, Tekken sword better show up. For real, I'm sick of this. He just be sitting there chilling. There ain't time to chill now. Your son has been kidnapped. But other than that, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of No.1 Sentai Gozyuger. If you made it this far into the video, I thoroughly do appreciate it. But make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and remember, as I always say, stay hitchened.